אנחנו ממשיכים את השיעור, למה? כי תרומת הדשן, לא עשיתי את ההשפעה, מהשפעות יורים אביון. Just remember, before you ever do a shear, wash your hands and gargle. And just make sure that whatever trash is in you, get rid of it. Otherwise, in the middle of your learning, you're going to stop recording. So that's the lesson in Musar for today. We have to learn. We have to learn the Parshat Shavua, Parshat Achrei Mot, HaChofetz Chaim. We also, that's part of feature Echad me Achever Shalanu, Shmuel Greenwald, who Hitzia Himlitz Shenilmod Gamkein HaChofetz Chaim is on the Torah. So this week's parsha we have Shmartem es Chukotai v'Mishpatai Asher Yaseh Ozam Ha'adam v'Chai B'hem. This is a mashkiach material that many people say, you want to get high? No, you want to get chai. You want to, v'chai b'hem. This is the most important thing. Yadua, ki ramach evarim ba'adam neged ramach mitzvos aseh shebetorah. We know that the 248 limbs are compared, are basically just like the 248 mitzvos aseh in the Torah. V'chol mitzvah mechayeh ever echad. Every mitzvah that you do is literally, you're talking about how to preventative medicine, or how to activate, how to mechaye, to resurrect. Mechay kol yom tamid masev reshit. That when you make a mitzvah, when you do a mitzvah, you do it with your hand, so that hand becomes life. You bring life. Asher kadishanu b'mitzvotav. Not only do you sanctify it, you're mechaye your aver. Mitzvah mechaye aver echad. V'hinei yeshnam evarim she'ein haneshama tluya b'hem. Now there are it comes into halachas as what's considered a mace. If you find part of a body, chas v'sholom, you find a mace mitzvah, you find an aver. Do you know if the person's still alive or not? What portions are covered, uncovered? So if you're talking about hands and legs, we're not talking about vital organs. She'ein haneshama tluya b'hem. Kamo yad v'rego. Kedoma. Da'af im yechesru lo. Chas v'sholom, if you're, minus, or you have something wrong with those. Af she'hefsed gadol ma'od. Even though it's a great loss. Af al pikein. It does not affect your living if you lose your hand or your leg. You could still live. And what are you called? You're called a balmum. You're called a disfigured person. You have a balmum. What we say challenged, you don't use the even word handicap anymore. But there are certain defects that you can have, chas v'sholom, that you won't be able to live. In fact, that might be the definition of a treifa. Treifa, is something that won't live up to a year. So, could go nekev krum shel moach, chas v'sholom, a hole in the membrane of the brain. You could chas v'sholom brain injury. Ocean noskalkalu. Certain heart injuries. That you could chas v'sholom lose your life. This is the chiddush of the Chofetz Chaim. He's saying, for every limb, now I'm really going out on a limb. Is that the expression? Going out on a limb? So, I don't want anybody to go limbo, but here we are, that he is comparing the physical organs to the spiritual organs. We're talking about permanence, forever. We know there's certain averos that you do. So it's like losing a hand or a foot. You're a balmum. It's a defect. It's bad. Shabira gra, the pasuk Mishleg Yud Gimel. which I checked out. It's Yud Gimel, 1313. A buzz l'davar yechbolo. Person who denigrates something. It will be, if you denigrate a mitzvah, then it will be your injury. Lechbolo. That's what the pasuk says. T'chabolo timsal l'netzach b'nafsho. Both ever. If you really, do something that's wrong with that limb, spiritually, it will always be there as a defect. For example, if you did not put on your tefillin, even if you did all the other mitzvahs in the world, you will be considered a balmum in your yad. And there are mitzvahs that are much more all-encompassing, that affect your life, like your brain and your heart. And if you rebel against these mitzvos, then you actually cause spiritual death. When we say all the mitzvos, you should do it without any defect whatsoever. Ve'emunah, when it comes to that limb, the spiritual limb, which is emunah, hu yesod ha-yesodot, shedat machshava tluya bo, ve'ikar chayot ha-nefesh. A person's faith is really what keeps him alive. V'hakavana hi shelo lifgom lekalkel chalila be'var mechitzonim b'niyimim achat mitzvos Hashem. And our goal is not to have any defects whatsoever. We're into 6 minutes. We have a few more minutes left. We have to learn the Chafetz Chaim, the Shmirat Halashon. Chelik Aleph, we're starting Perek Beis, Chaf Hei Nisan. Va'od yesh tam acher bezeh. אתה רואה מה שעשינו? תהילים ואת היורצייט. ואת המשגס, בלגן, מה שאני גם כן דיברתי, took up space, and the fact that I don't even know how to get rid of my garbage. עכשיו, העיקר, שמירת הלשון, אחרון חביב, עוד יש טעם אחר, כי ידוע הוא, כי לפי מה שאדם מנהיג את עצמו בליוסו בעולם הזה. Person according to what you do in this world, הוא מעורר כנגדו למעלה בעולם העליון. Everything that, like this, Yerushalayim shel mata, Yerushalayim shel mala. You are what you are down here. That's how you're going to be treated up there. Kol midah lefi inyano. Im darko la'avir al midos misnagim anashim b'midos hachesed v'rachamim. A person who's not what's so touchy, specific, so sensitive. No, but that sensitive is a positive word, negative word. A person who fussy. Okay, that's a good word. So if he is touchy with everybody, so everybody's about okay. Actually, but if a person is foregoing of his own, and he has loving kindness and mercy, so upstairs, Kadosh Baruch Hu, they will treat you with. Kadosh Baruch Hu will treat you with mercy, rachamim. Merachim Kadosh Baruch Hu al olam bishvilo. Not only that, by your act of mercy or chesed to someone else, you can cause more chesed in this world. You have when you talk about tikkun olam, or you're talking about what effect can you have in the world? I'll tell you what. Just help the old lady cross the street. In other words, do something that's chesed. Moreover, connect l'mala et midrash rachim rachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu olam b'shvilo. Umepri pi ish tisba nafsho. Fruits of speech will nourish his soul. Torah pi, the fruits of your mouth. Ish tazmin nafsho will nourish your soul. V'zoche hu gam kein shirachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu olav v'yarein apshav. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu have rachmim on v'yarein apshav. He will forgive your transgressions. Kama Amarim, as Shabbos Kufnun Aleph Amud Beis. Kol Marachim Al Brius, Marachim Al Min Shemayim. Yuma, Chav Gimel Amud Aleph, Kol Mavir Al Midosov, Mavir Al Kol Shav. In other words, don't be so fussy.
Vindictive.
Vindictive is something. Okay, whatever. It's the word is your.
Soft.
Okay, I still have not come up with the right word, but we're going to.
Right.
Now you guys are not 40 years old, maybe both of you together, we're getting there, but we're learning the Zohar. Kamo Isa Bazora Kodesh Paparshas Emor, Tanina. Now, I could have just tried to translate into the English, but I got, and there is such a thing as the Targum Zohar, which is into Hebrew. So I'm going to read the Zohar, and then I'm going to read the Hebrew together. I'm up to 10 minutes. Oh, I only have 4 minutes left. Oh, where did everything go? Ufda Zulasa Ita of the Leil Ibarnash Avid of the Tata Gita Yos. You guys understand? Hachi Ita Ihela the Kat Yos Leil Avid Barnash Chesed Ba'alma Ito Chesed Leila Bishori Bahu Yoma Ita Begina Itabe Barnash Brachme Lasas Ita Rachme Alahu Yoma Da Rachme Gina Ukdain Hu Yoma Kai away lemeve aptora begina b'shated itzrach bahu mida dvarnash ba modadin zakah man achse avoda leha avda ataya baskol ad kan leshono. Let me tell you, it's not so simple. V'shaninu, now we have an ivrit. B'maaseh shalamata mit'ora maaseh lamala. Everything that you do down here has an effect upstairs. If you do something down, that's good. Kach mit'ora korach roy lamala. Ose adam chesed b'olam mit'ora chesed lamala. In other words, he's repeating what we already learned from the Zohar. V'shor oto b'olim v'sasha b'shvil. Noeg adam rachmim lamata mora rachmim al oso ma'at rachmim shvila. Oso yom omed alav liot apetropis alav b'shei sroichel. Could always, if you do chesed, it's going to be in a bank there, and Hashem will pay you back at some time if you need it. How you measure someone else, that's how you become measured upstairs. And then we continue. We're getting close to the end, both on the time element, 2 minutes left. This is like a race. A person's not a vatran, doesn't give up. What's the word livater?
To give up.
To give, okay. Klum mishalo shalom rachem hu magbir bezel lamala es midas adin alam lasam demidas adam odeh mo odeh be'ematirim. If a person is not mevater, so then there's a midas adin. Hashem is going to judge him. V'zeh kavanas marmarim b'ovam tzia daf lamed amad beis. Lo chorva Yerushalayim el shemida dvarim al din Torah. How Yerushalayim was destroyed because they were makbid only to do din Torah, not lifnim mishros of them. The chora alo yalehem kama avonos kamoshem avorish kalafi zenicha dem hayu ma'avirin al midosim hayu kadosh baruch hu him. If a person would be vatran, then Hashem would forgive him. Avalheim midot v'rim shalol vater klum levarim b'nem. Lachein dikta kadosh baruch hu kam kein akareim. And I see I have actually a minute left. In other words, according to your behavior down here, then you will be rewarded up there. Lama maze kashur l'shiur shalanu, the masha amanu alapi. We see that this was it. And we ish tisba nafsho. The fruits of your speech will nourish your soul. Masha ato ose em hapeh ze yaseh lecha tov lamala. אני רוצה גם כן, לדני שלא הלך לישון, אנחנו בנימין, ולא עשה, אבל עכשיו זה כמעט חצות, 7 בארץ ישראל, אנחנו נגיד ערב טוב, יום טוב, שמועות טובות לכולם.